Welcome, chefs, to Plate Up. This cute little game was released not too long ago, and it brings an interesting combination of the standard cooking game with roguelike elements and automation that us factory gamers love. The game is well balanced enough that you can enjoy it solo or with up to 4 players. When you start a new game, you need to pick 2 things, the floor layout and the main dish. You can pick from any of the layouts they give you each day, or if you know of a good one, you can manually enter a seed instead. If you find a good one, don't forget to share it. As for the main dishes, there are currently 9 in total. You'll start out with steak and have to keep playing to unlock them all. After completing a few games, you'll also receive some crates that give you good items you can use at the start of a new game. Once you've made your selection, it's time to begin. If you play this game the traditional way, at first glance it might seem pretty simple. The customers come in, you cook them their orders, you wash their plates, and you, literally, rinse and repeat until the day is over. However, this game is soon going to scale up in difficulty quite a lot. At the end of each day, you get to take your earnings and spend them on upgrades for your store. You can get new tables, more dishes, sinks, etc. There are a lot to choose from, however, what you get is randomized. You can luck out and get exactly what you need, or you might be offered items that don't help you out at all. The best strategy in the first few rounds is to aim for multiple filing cabinets and the research and copying desk. The more control over the appliances you get, the better. After a few days, once you've become a 1-star restaurant, the various cards will start showing up. You'll always be given 2 choices. Only with experience will you know what's good and what's bad. In this case, I opted for more customers because I know handmade patties require several steps and can be difficult to make. The second set of cards that shows up will define the theme of your restaurant. There are 4 themes in total, and you'll get to pick from 2. The general description for each is: formal focuses on reducing messes. Exclusive makes you a little bit more money and gives customers more patience. Charming helps a lot more with customer patience. And affordable focuses on speed, which is great for getting customers in and out as quickly as possible. My personal favorite right now is formal, because with 9 decoration points, you remove customer messes completely. As you progress through the game, you'll get more customers, and the cards can add a lot more complexity to your store. At some point, you're going to have to start automating your kitchen. It will take a while before you can fully automate things, but here's an example of where to start. Using the research desk, I upgraded a conveyor belt into a grabber. Grabber belts will pull items on the receiving side and push it along the arrows. I also upgraded a hob earlier, which is essentially a stove, into a safety hob. This cooking appliance won't burn your food, which is great for automation. Now instead of taking the meat out, putting it on a burner, waiting for it to be finished, taking it off, putting it on a plate, I've replaced all of those steps with, there's a cooked patty on a plate available. Just make sure the autoplater gets replenished. As a tip, anytime you implement some new automation to your restaurant, always test it out with a practice run first to make sure it works. If you can take out a lot of the steps of running your restaurant, then things will be easier. This is especially important since new things are always added. In my example, even though preparing burgers is now mostly automated, the customers are now starting to ask for cheeseburgers as well. After a while, my burger restaurant started to look like this. The burger patties are automatically cooked and buffered into a frozen prep station, but now customers can order burgers with cheese, onions, and/or tomatoes. There's basically 8 combinations in total, so I have to be reactive to their orders. I was hoping to get more grabber belts in this run to help with the cheese and onions, but alas, they never showed up. If I had more grabber belts and mixers, I could have automated the cheese and onions so I wouldn't have to keep cutting them up myself. Like with all roguelike games, your adventure will slowly come to an end. It might be frustrating, but this game is a lot of fun and I like it a lot. Sometimes, you might even get to play a game as crazy as this one. This is a larger restaurant I started that serves carrot soup as a starter, salad and tomato salad with a side of French fries, and a cup of coffee to finish it off. Let me explain what's going on. The cabbage is being moved into a mixer that chops it up. I'm pushing it into a frozen prep station to make sure there's a buffer. This is then pushed into an area where I've connected several autoplaters. Up next, I have tomatoes being sent into the mixer. The tricky thing about tomatoes is that they actually have 2 stages of mixing. Once they're chopped up, if you keep chopping them up, they'll turn into tomato paste, which is useless here. However, if you push a plate of salad onto that mixer, it will stop the tomatoes from being mixed any further. With this setup, I have 2 tomato salads and 1 regular salad ready to go at all times. In order to make sure that the salad autoplater always has plates, I have a large buffer of plates being pushed into it. I also have a smart grabber belt that's been programmed to only take clean plates out of the dishwasher to help refill it. The French fries are pretty straightforward. The potatoes are moved onto a conveyor mixer, which pushes them onto a safety hob. This allows me to have some fresh French fries ready at all times if anyone asks for it. To use a coffee machine, you need to interact with it twice, once to pick up an empty cup, then again to put the cup down and fill it with coffee. I built 2 buffers to help automate this. A buffer of empty cups to be fed into the machine, then a smart grabber that only grabs full cups of coffee and feeds them into a prep station for my customers. Lastly, and this is what killed me because I couldn't automate it enough, was the carrot soup. All I needed was a single combiner to help automatically feed carrots into the pot, but they never came up, even with all of my rerolls. I had a buffer of 4 soups ready to go, but you can only cook 3 at a time with a lot of manual steps, and practically all of my customers wanted some. In the end though, it was a pretty good run. 7 days of overtime is quite the achievement. I hope you enjoyed this little introduction to PlateUp, and I hope to see you again next time. Enjoy your meal.